from just now from first one, from Malaysia, and then we go to Korea. Now we go to Korea from Thailand, from Malaysia, now we go to Korea. Yeah, Professor Wang, Professor Wang, here Deng Yong Wang, okay. He will be talking on science and philosophy of Korea traditional food. Yeah, I think Dr. Wang from Honshu University, south of Korea. Yeah, I think 20 minutes. Okay.
Thank you for your introduction. It's my great pleasure to present, to introduce the Korean traditional food. Maybe this topic is not usual. Actually, my major is biologist, but today I'm not a humanities scholar, but today I'd like to introduce science and philosophy of Korean traditional food. Structure is like this. So science and base and food innovation history and Korean traditional food, for example, fermentation and food hereditary. So in terms of genetics and epigenetics. Actually, my major is food molecular biology. So I have career this kind of works. So I'm the former president of Korea Food Research Institute. But most works on health and its mechanism of component of Korean food by molecular biologists, just like cell study or animal study or human study. But late of my career is on Korean food, Korean fermentation food and ethnic food. So I launched this kind of journals with the help of Springer Nature publisher. So I was working editor-in-chief of JEF. So I'd like to change it to food history and cultures.
Step forward. That's what we did.
So the reason is the major points of for choosing food in the market is number one is taste and second is the price. But and next is the health, just like this session. But when I was in KFRI, most objective of study is to get the money. But for the visitors, because Korean food is very booming, so the culture and history is very important for the foreigners, and taste and price. And another thing is the frequency of choosing food. It's 3 times a day, totally maybe over 500 times per year. But if I choose the cellular phone every 3 years, and if I buy the car, so once per every 10 years, that means food is very important for the choosing. So, and another thing is right of choose is the general individual consumer, not doctor. So everybody think about food, what kind of food to choose. So contents such as healthy and culture and histories are very important. So at this time, food market is greater than the processed food and pharmacy. So history and cultural values are important in food, but scientists are not interested in food culture or history. So even if there are many unscientific misunderstanding, they are not corrected and told as they are. So therefore, scientists must be interested in telling the truth. So the problem and status in Korea, so there are many errors and distortion in food culture and history. So just like me, many food scientists who are focused on the product than the people's health. And humanities scholars only have studied food culture and history. So they didn't know the science. and only knows the old literature, especially on Chinese character, it's a written book. The history and culture of Korean food with humanist literature written by men has not been scientific and limited. As they talk in Chinese character, Korean food can be seen through the eyes of Chinese characters. So there are many errors and distortion of Korean culture. For example, Korea represented food, kimchi, soy sauce, and red pepper paste came from China, and they evolved into modern kimchi, jang, and gochujang. It's totally not true. So many of these errors and distortions have not been corrected and are used as they are, so the truth has been revealed, so which is rather harmful to food development. So find one. So this is the time when scientists should be interested in the food culture and history. So this time, K culture, just like movies and drama and pop and music and food and life is very booming. So many foreigners ask me what is the essence of food and truth of Korean food. So nobody can answer and no papers. So I wrote these papers, Science and Philosophy of Korean Traditional Food, by studying the old literature and sometimes by studying the lyrics and sometimes studied the food science and sometimes knowledge of fermentation. And then now I can analyze the genomic study of the plants and humans. So now the value of food is not only technology, but also in culture and uniqueness in the global era. So I wrote this paper in the JEF. So based on food history and philosophy is like this. So we can make easiest error to make is the illusion that our food has its same root in China. So I have to study the root of Korean people and the Chinese people. So for understanding food history, studying the migration of our Asian people and agricultural history and geographical characters are necessary based on scientifics. So nobody can, so only scientists can study this kind of works. So I studied studied to differentiate the Chinese and the Yoha culture. Yoha culture is the origin of Korean or Manchuria. So I studied two cultures totally different between the biological and the language and agriculture and food. So Korean food is the banchan culture and the Chinese food is dishy. So, and I also studied the earthenware by relic studies, so comparing the palm-patterned pottery and non-patterned pottery. So the Hwanga culture is large enough to be one of the world's 4 largest civilizations, but there is another Yoha culture separately. So food history is from the hunting to agriculture. So we have to study the geo-historical factor, just like the human migration and race and civilization and agriculture. Just like the latitude of our land and the climate and mountains and grassland or jungles. So we have to look the geo-historical and agricultural factor to see the root of our food culture. So finds one, basic philosophy of ethnic food discovery is to start with the natural product. And the innovation and progress of all food is in the world is not the history of technology transfer. Many people think the technology transfer, but the history of discovery and the agriculture. So without understanding the prehistoric food innovation history correctly, we do not understand our food development history properly. So innovation I understand. I study innovation direction of world food. So first is how can we survive our lives by eating foodstuffs without getting sick or die? That is the safety problem. And then how can they eat more delicious? Delicious is very important. And then last, how can we safely eat leftover later? Is another important. This is the food, not preservation. It's the preservation of food, not processed food. So this is the direction of world as food generation. So safety problem is solved by fire discovery in part. So we call this fire discovery is the first food revolution. So we'll be able to eat more safely compared to the previous human heads, and brain size is bigger, and the lifespan is longer. So this is the science. So invention of fire discovers the earthenware, earth finds bronze and iron. Without fire, we cannot make any earthenware and bronze and iron kettle. So after invention of earthenware and iron bowls, boiling and cooking became possible. So that is very important for the food innovation. So the discovery of fire solved the inability to eat raw. So boiling some trypsin inhibitor or pasteurization of harmful bacteria and blanching the raw vegetables to soften. So this is the fire revolution. And second is the progress of foodware is very important to develop our own food in Korea. So the Stone Age, we also make the fermentation by earthenware, and bronze and iron age. So in 8th centuries in Korea, Bokjusa temple. So we can find this kind of stone jar and stone spot for the kimchi fermentation. That means kimchi fermentation is already proceeded. And present many ongi or steel, alloy, and plastic is the present times. And the important thing is the taste in Korea, mat. That is the driving force behind the eating and digesting food. So Western countries, funky taste is important, but China and Korean taste is another quite different. So we also important say that intestinal feeling is very important for the taste, and taste of chewing is also very important. So Western salt and sugar and black pepper, and China. So I think the high temperature is very important for the Chinese food. And Korea, without frying and oil or sugar, we can make our own food. So we cannot say Korean food without feeling this complex taste. It's very complex taste. So 시원한 맛 and 깊은 맛 is another big topic for study. So looking for the flavoring substance, the Western and the Eastern. So Korea is very important source is the salt. Most okay. Okay. Yeah. So and another thing is endless intended efforts to eat delicious is very important. So men in Korea, philosophy, epistemology, aesthetics, and woman is very important. Life and endless effort to survive and help families. So delicious ingredient in Korea is the red pepper. So now, without red pepper, we cannot say anything in Korean food. So we call this red pepper is very good for the color, and so I'd like to compare the Chinese food, Korean food is just like this. So fermentation is the best to to eat the late. So we can say this discovery is with say serendipity for the woman. So fermentation is blessing from heaven to woman who makes desperate and intentional effort. So we can enjoy it delicious and eat it later. It's healthy scientifically. Okay. So the food revolution is the 3 steps: how to eat safely, and how to eat the deliciously, and how to eat the later. So the fire and the heat and sauce, so we can find the unexpected discovery, fermentation, serendipity. And the milk fermentation is another Western countries. So do you know why milk has lactic acid, not glucose? The all harmful microorganism easily decompose the glucose in the milk and reach the baby to die. However, lactose does not easily decompose, but only lactobacillus can eat. So it has evolved in lactose direction. So it's the evolution. And the finds all fermented food is blessing discovered serendipitous by women who try to make an effort to eat delicious food with all their heart. Okay, and just the third part. So the Korean, so it's a Korean dish. It's the 밥상 culture, quite different. So we have we need the banchan. Without banchan, we cannot eat the rice. So we have the 밥상 culture. So like this. So banchans are crucial to have 밥 deliciously. So diverse banchans are very competent for future personalized foods. And basic Korean sauce is the jang and yangnyeom. Okay. Maybe. Okay, I'd like to skip. So many basic sauce is the jang and yangnyeom. Jang is soybean fermentation, and the yangnyeom is this kind of garlic and gochu and green onion. We can make this yangnyeom, and we can make the jang fermented soybean like this. So we have the 간장, 된장, and gochujang, and we make the kimchi. Without yangnyeom, we cannot make kimchi. Without gochu, without chili, we cannot make any yangnyeom. So with gochu, chili, we can make yangnyeom, and we can make the kimchi. So this is the science and the philosophy of Korea kimchi. So this is the natural product. So Korea food was born after the efforts of our ancestors to make use of natural products, especially vegetable ingredients. So for Korean food, all of this natural product is necessary. So also from nature wisely for human being, and Korean food is unique soybean and vegetable fermentation foods that are unprecedented in the world, such as jang and kimchi. So I have 3 slides. So lastly, I'd like the food genetics by evolutionary genetics. As you know, Svante Pääbo won the Nobel Prize 2020. So nowadays we can analyze the human genome by parcel of the skull, and we can PCR and we can NGS. So we can analyze the human genome by X chromosome and Y chromosome. X chromosome is for woman, Y chromosome is for man. So after the Ice Age, the genetic diversity of man and woman began to increase significantly, and woman increased rapidly 5,000 years ago, but that is Bronze and Iron period. However, men tend to increase in curvature since the Ice Age, but in the Bronze Age, genetic diversity rapidly decreased and almost extinct. Then diversity increased dramatically. It can be seen that when war breaks out due to the development of weapons of mass destruction due to the advent of the Iron Age. the Y is ending in the form of man extermination, and most women were humiliated. In the midst of this, the newborn child takes on the burden that women have to raise no matter what man's child. So there are cultural, language, and foods inherited by the mother. So last find Koreans are not single lineage but monoculous. Food is delivered by several mother. So material delivery is the food and culture. So summary is the same. So hoping to scientists interest to
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Wong. I think due to the time, there is no question for you. But okay, I think maybe during the break, maybe some of you would like to ask, Professor Wong. Very interesting talk. Maybe next time, Professor Kim Poon, maybe you need to have a session, ASEAN, maybe ASEAN traditional food. I think maybe very good. I like, most about your presentation. Thank you. So okay, now we move to the next speaker. The next speaker from Poland, Dr. Elvira, senior